Alright, so in this one, I want to go over two things. One, this Reddit post that is basically talking about old step ups, and two, about the newest step up, the GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and arguably people are saying the worst step up in recent history. So the best one compared to the worst one. So I want to read this, read what they say, read some comments, and then go over it and compare them. Personally, I don't think the Super Saiyan 4 one's that terrible compared to other ones we've had, but we'll get into that. So this one has fantastic units, 3 of which are still relevant, even though Bergamo is greater than Dispo. All the perks were good, especially the double rate for a new unit, 4 new characters on a single banner, and the tickets had solid rates on them. Honestly, they should just bring this format back, but with the Legends Limited unit having a 0.5% drop rate, meaning that on the double rate for a new character step, they would have a pull rate of 1%, which just sounds enticing. So we look at the steps. We had the 100, 3 characters, 300, 5 characters, 700, a full multi, and then the steps you repeat would be the 700 through the free multi. So you would get your tickets, all that, and it would be the guaranteed tickets that we have now, the 5 tickets for 1 summon. The LF has a 5% rate, then other LFs have like 2.5%, and I think the featured units had like 10 to 15% rates, at least on this banner. Now, this banner was good, but again, they said it here, and I'll reiterate the point. The only problem with this was the last LF unit we got that had the 0.25% rate. Now, I don't know if it was intentional that they upped it for Gogeta and Broly, maybe because, like, oh, these banners are kind of ass. There's only 2 featured units on each banner that are new, excluding the ELF per banner, because obviously they didn't share banners. I don't know if they saved just the rate up for them to put into the game, like, going on, but if UI Goku had the 0.5% rate up, this probably would have been the best banner in the game. I still am under the belief that the GT banner from Christmas/New Year's last year was the best banner in the game. We could go over it later, but I don't think it's even worthwhile going over because it had no LF is the thing. It's hard to compare an LF banner to a step up banner without an LF. It's like I think Great Saiyaman and Goku Black were a banner together, and again, maybe they had an LF, I don't know, but you didn't care about the LF. Those characters were alright. Well, Great Saiyaman was alright, but Goku Black was so damn good, you didn't care about the LF. I think that actually might have been Majin Vegeta's banner. But regardless, I want to compare it and honestly talk about what Anniversary's banners could look like, because I think they'll be a lot similar to the UI banner more than this one. So this banner, you get the tickets after every single thing, whatever. In this one, with this one, you can acquire 10 characters, 500 crystals. This one, 1k, 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 1k. No free multi. And in this, you get 2, 3, 4, 6 tickets, 6 out of 5. You will never, ever be able to use every single ticket because, look here, you get 1, 2, 3, 5. So that one ticket you get from right here, the first summon, you will never be able to use. So you always have 1 out of 5 tickets. It is meant to entice players to keep summoning because they're like, oh shit, I have to get this ticket out of my way. Like, I don't want it. Because ideally, the old scenario was, oh, well, I have 2 out of 5 tickets. If I finish this rotation, then I'll have my 5 out of 5. I get through my free multi. Then I'll have no tickets left, and I'll be on step 2 or step 3, and I can repeat whenever I so choose if I want to. And that doesn't entice you because you see 0 out of 5, you're like, oh, I don't want to go through 4,000 Chrono Crystals. But if you see that 1 out of 5, you're like, oh, I can kind of squeeze it out. But it's essentially the same thing. You're going to 4,000 Chrono Crystals. It's just more enticing. So that's a bad thing. That's very, I would say gotcha-y, but it's like, that's like when you see like an advertisement pop up in your face in like a YouTube ad, and then it pops up 5 more times in the same ad. It's like I get it. Like, I get it's there. I just don't want to acknowledge it. But then you end up clicking it maybe because you've seen it so many times pop up. That's kind of how it is. It's very, like, in your face. You have to see it. And then eventually you will cave into it. If not this banner, maybe you won't. Eventually you will cave in. Now, anniversary banners. Compared to this and the UI, I think it'll look a lot more like UI, just for the simple fact that Anniversary is going to have more than 2 characters. This banner has only 2 characters, and I don't even count. I really shouldn't count, honestly. In my head, I don't count them, but you have to count them, I guess. EX Goku Black. I don't think he's like, oh yeah, this is why you're summoning. Like, yeah, you can pull EX Goku Black. No, there's no second prize in this. I didn't get EX Goku Black in 20k crystals. You know, if there were a featured Sparking, I most likely would have pulled them at least 2 or 3 times, and the LF Goku like I did in 20k crystals. I would have had at least a consolation prize, just like DBS Frieza was for the Broly and Gogeta step up, or Toppo, Dispo, and Jiren were for the UI step up, because obviously his rate was lower. Now, I think, like I said earlier, the implementation of the 0.5% was to keep going forward, and they have it for every single one. And obviously they have LF Gohan 0.5, Rose 0.5, Kid Buu 0.5, all that yada yada yada. And they made it essentially like Dokkan. Now, if you don't play Dokkan, they have, I'll explain it basically, right? They have a thing called Dokkan Fest every month. Basically, you have a new unit that is very good that comes out, and on that new unit's banner, you have one new unit that comes with it. Now, sound familiar? Well, it is, because that's what Legends been doing. LF Gohan, we got Android 21, Kid Buu, Angel Vegeta, Rose, Trunks and Mai. Now, in Dokkan, it's a little different, because in Dokkan, you pull the unit once, it's viable, you can use it. Sure, maybe you want one extra copy, maybe even 2 extra copies, but 5 is your max, and that's all you need. Now, Dokkan is a PvE-based game. You are playing against a set boss with set restrictions, set conditions, all that. Legends is not that. Legends is partially PvE, but even then, your mainstay to play Legends is PvP. So, Dokkan Legends have invented this concept together to where they do it together. This basically LF per month equals Dokkan Fest per month. Now, Ultras are essentially LRs in Dokkan. How I mean by that is an Ultra will become free to play. Maybe we'll get 5 free to play Ultras for every color in the game, right? Makes sense. Just like Dokkan did. And then the next one after that will be Sonable. Now, I don't think this will happen until maybe New Year's next year, right? They even said it takes 3 to 4 months to develop. I'm assuming they developed maybe 2 or 3 Ultras already. No more than 3. I would say we might get one for Anniversary. Also, if there's noise in the background, I apologize. Don't know why the hell there's sirens on at 8:50 a.m. But I digress. I do think another Ultra for Anniversary is a situation that can happen. I don't think it'll pertain to the Anniversary, because I think it'll be Tournament of Power and GT based, and I feel like they'll go off the Dokkan trend where it's like iconic scenes, like Frieza's first appearance, Piccolo saving Gohan, Android 17 and 18 from the future Trunks, Krillin from the Saiyan Saga, all these iconic scenes, like Cell going into perfect form, all that. I feel like that'll be the Ultras that we get before anything. But I do see one coming for Anniversary. That's besides the point. It's just a comparison that Ultras are basically LRs, and LRs come every couple months, more or less, in Dokkan. Sometimes it's every month, sometimes every 2 or 3 months. It depends the season of the hype, all that. But ideally and basically, it comes every 2 or 3 months. Now, why am I comparing Ultras? Because you're going to see a lot more LFs, right? Anniversary, I think it's going to be a dual LF banner. And we have that 0.5% rate. And I do think this UI Goku format will be implemented into Anniversary, just for the fact that, okay, last Anniversary, how many characters did we get? We got Rage Trunks, Merge Zamasu, Vegeta Blue, 1 banner. Then we had 2 EXs. I think it was EX Vegeta and EX Sin on the future banner. And then GT banner, we had EX Trunks, EX Gogeta, and then we had Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Omega Shenron, and, well, Vegito Blue. So we had 4 units per banner. How does that look like here? 4 units on UI's banner. Now, should anniversary banners be worse than a random celebration? I think this was Black Friday, actually, but, you know, look, Black Friday is not even a real damn thing. It's just a made-up thing that people do just so they get cheaper shit. It's not real. Besides my point, anniversary has to be better than this UI Goku banner. It's just the simple fact that people won't summon. People have really just stopped summoning in this game for new units just because they don't mean anything, and they have to make them mean something. Now, there's been a scenario, if you even look at power level in your own box, you'll probably see it, especially if you summon for 2nd anniversary. Your Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the green one, your Omega Shenron, your Merge Zamasu, your H Trunks, super high power level. Pretty good stat spread, but just not good enough units because of how the game has shifted in the meta and how everything has just changed so drastically. Because at this time, we didn't have LF Gohan Zenkai. We didn't have all these Zenkais. We didn't have over 40 Zenkais in the game when Anniversary dropped. So they had to make these banners good enough. The format itself has to be good enough to make people want to summon. They're doing it smart by buffing GT and buffing Tournament of Power, so they have these tags already buffed, and then some units will return, like maybe Basil, Bergamo, Topo, Jiren, Dispo, Lavender, for Anniversary as like featured units, because, you know, it might be Tournament of Power themed, like I think. Those units will return. Great, you can get buffs for the team, but there's better buffs for the team. More recent units hit. For example, Vados, Champa. Maybe they won't return, but there's at least some incentive to summon because Bergamo's good, Basil's good, Jiren's really good, Topo's really good. These units are still very good, but they're just not the best of the best. Obviously, Vados is better than every single other unit I just named, but they're doing it correct in the way of leading up. GT as well. We're getting... Oh, what the hell? We're getting a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta Zenkai. We just got LF Goku given. We should be getting an All-Stars banner, I would say, in 2 weeks from now. That is probably going to be GT-centric. I would assume it's Nova and Ice Shenron. Maybe it'll be Sin Shenron that transforms into Omega. I just think it'll be some type of Shadow Dragon, some type of GT. More or less because I would see an EX GT unit getting a Zenkai in the near future. I think that GT Trunks is actually a story unit. That base green Trunks that's like a decent hybrid support. He actually has a story event. So I could see something like that coming. It's just their lead up is good. Their format has to be better than their lead up, and their units have to be better than they were and are than 90% of the game. Because that's what Anniversary is about, right? You start playing again, you're like, oh, these new hype units are really good. I want to pull them. I want to reroll. If you do that, good for you. I don't recommend it. It's just stupid because Ultras, you're not going to get Ultras to 14 star if you're rerolling. But that's another discussion. It's just... they have to make it good or no one's going to summon, essentially. The game is in a weird spot where they are worried of Zenkais and they've been nerfing them. Now, this Vegeta, I don't know how they can nerf him. He's the most new unit to Zenkai in the game by far. Like, you thought Super Saiyan 3 Goku was a new unit. This guy is hardly a year old and he's getting a Zenkai. His stats are really fine. The only thing about him is he's a glass cannon, but even on initial release, he was a glass cannon. It's not like he was tanky at 14 star on release. He wasn't. He was still as glass cannon as he is today. So they're worried to do it, but they also need to do it for some tags. Vegeta Family and GT do need this, so I agree. This is a smart Zenkai to do. I would have liked EX Sin Shenron because they... Or not EX Sin Shenron. The Yellow Sin Shenron, because he goes neutral, and he has endurance. Sadly, animations are long animations, I think, for his green card. But still, a unit no one ever used on release that could have got a Zenkai. I digress. This Vegeta is one of those units that needs a buff. And what I mean by that is not just his stats, make his kit better, because the only tags he has, he's not going to replace anyone on Saiyan. He's only going to be used on his main tags, which are GT and Vegeta family. So you need to make him very good in that regard. I would say just make him more tanky, maybe just give him some damage cut, and give him Ki on his main so he can get more feints. Woohoo, love feint. Great mechanic. I'm glad they put it on units. Anyways, that's what I think. I think these banner formats are essentially good. I would say, obviously, the UI Goku banner format was better than the current ones we've had recently. But I do understand why it is a gacha game. If every single format was as good as this UI Goku one, then we would be very spoiled. And, well, they're not going to make money off every single LF, right? So you got to kind of pick your good with your good and your bad with your bad. You know UI Goku's going to make money. You're going to make his banner really good, right? It's just kind of the way it goes. You know Anniversary is going to make money. They have to make those banners good. They don't have to make LF Future Gohan, LF Kid Buu good banners. They don't. It's just, it's not their money makers. It'll make them something, but it won't make them as much as these hype units and these hype celebrations. Let me know what you guys think about banner formats. What banner format you think is coming for Anniversary? What banner format do you want? And who do you want to be on the Anniversary? I mean, I've been saying what I think, who I think is going to come. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one.